Welcome to the video where I'm gonna try to predict who's gonna dethrone every current WWE Champion. This is the second time I'm doing this type of video. First time I was doing in November and now December edition. So without further ado, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let's start with United States Championship. In my last video, champion was LA Knight, and I said that the superstar who's gonna dethrone him is Carmelo Hayes. But I was wrong. The superstar who was dethroned LA Knight was Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I didn't expect from Shinsuke to return to WWE, and I didn't expect from him to win a title so fast. So now the question is, who's gonna dethrone Shinsuke Nakamura? And I'm gonna stick with my previous answer on my previous video, and that's Carmelo Hayes. If he don't end up on Raw, then I'm 100% that he will sooner or later win a United States Championship. Right now he has a feud against Braun Strowman, but it's not interesting for me, to be honest. But we first need to wait for Shinsuke Nakamura and LA Knight feud to resolve, and maybe LA Knight will go to Raw, I think. Then Shinsuke Nakamura is open for a new feud where we can get Carmelo Hayes against Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe at Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania. So my answer is Carmelo Hayes. So next one, let's go to Raw mid-card title, Intercontinental title. In my last video the champion was Braun Breaker, and he is still a champion. And in my last video I said that Sheamus will gonna dethrone him, and I'm gonna stick with that prediction. I still think that Sheamus will be the one who will dethrone Braun Breaker and win the first ever Intercontinental Championship in his career. Sheamus has a rich career in WWE, but one title he missed is Intercontinental title. So I think maybe at WrestleMania, Braun Breaker against Sheamus, where Sheamus will finally get that title and win. Now let's switch to Tag Team Champions. In my last video, the Motor City Machine Guns was champions, and I said that DIY will dethrone him, and there was I correct. And they became a new Tag Team Champions. I thought in my last video that they deserve another title shot, because first time they didn't even held it like less than a month, I think, and Bloodline dethroned them. So I thought that they need another title reign, and I think this is the right call from Triple H. And they are heels, which is more better, because I think we never had a DIY as heels. So the question is, who's gonna dethrone them? And I think that's gonna be the Street Profits. Street Profits are a good tag team. They didn't have a title for a long time. So I think that there will be the perfect babyface, and DIY will be the perfect heels to go on each other, and I think that Street Profits will dethrone them. Now let's move to the World Tag Team Champions. In my last video, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonagh was champions, and I said that War Raiders will dethrone them. And thanks God, I was right. So the first match they had, War Raiders lost, and I was like, man, why do WWE keep these titles in Judgment Day? Like, why? It's boring. They don't do anything with them. And then they got the rematch. War Raiders got the rematch against the Judgment Day, and finally the War Raiders dethroned them with help of Damian Priest, but it doesn't matter. And I think that War Raiders will be the great champions. And now the question is, who's gonna dethrone them? I think the tag team that will dethrone them will be the new heel team, and that's the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. After kicking out Big E from faction, they become the most hated person on WWE. Besides Dominic Mysterio, he's the first one. And and they didn't have this title for a long time as babyface. And now when they are heels, there is a maybe time for them to win a title again. In the next one, we have the Women's Tag Team Champions. In my last video, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill was champions, and I said that some form of Damage Control will dethrone them. But Jade Cargill was injured, and Naomi took her place. Now the champions are Bianca Belair and Naomi. So I still think that some form of Damage Control will dethrone them, but we need to wait to see when Jade Cargill will be back and how will she react to this. I still think that when she returns, that will be the start of the Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill feud all the way to WrestleMania, where they would have a 1v1 match. So my final prediction is that some shape or form of Damage Control will dethrone them. Now who? I don't really know. Anyone of Damage Control. So next is Women's United States Championship, currently held by Chelsea Green. So I think in any of my previous videos I said that first ever United States Champion will be Chelsea Green, but I'm not sure in which video, to be honest. But never mind. So the question is, who's gonna dethrone her? And I think he will have a really good reign, and I think that she will hold the title all the way into WrestleMania, and I think she will have a match against Michin, and I think that Michin will dethrone her. If you remember at the beginning of this tournament for the Women's US Championship, all people are saying that finale will be Chelsea Green and Michin. It was really predictable, and it's actually happened. We got the finale, Chelsea Green against Michin, and Chelsea Green took a victory. So Michin is the superstar who will dethrone her. Now let's move to the title where we don't have any champion, and that's Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is still ongoing on tournament, which will be crowned at Ron Ethics debut. So we have, I think, Dakota Kai, Lyra Valkyria, Zoe Stark, and one quarterfinals match didn't take place yet. I'm dabbling between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria, but I'm gonna say that Lyra Valkyria will be first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion. Why? Because she's young, talented superstar. She was recently called to main roster from NXT, and I really think she will be the Intercontinental Champion. So let's move on to World Heavyweight Championship. In my last video, the champion was Gunther, and Gunther still is. In my last video I said that superstar who will dethrone Gunther will be John Cena, and I still think that will be the case, because like I said in that video, Gunther is one of the biggest heels on WWE right now, and John Cena is one of the biggest babyface in WWE right now. So the combination of them two will make a spectacular match. Plus, if it happens at WrestleMania, and if Cena wins there, that will be his 17th title in career. And imagine that, 17 career title at the biggest premium live event in WWE. So my final answer is John Cena. Now let's move on to WWE Women's Champion. In my last video the champion was Nia Jax, and she still is. And I said that Tiffany Stratton will dethrone her, and I still think that's gonna be the case. She will cash in on Nia 100%, and she will become a new WWE Women's Champion, which can create the feud between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Maybe that can be a match for WrestleMania, I don't know. But my final answer is Tiffany Stratton. Now let's switch to the Women's World Champion. In my last video the champion was Liv Morgan, and she still is. In my last video I said that Rhea Ripley will dethrone her, and I still think she will dethrone her. Maybe at Netflix debut, because that's where these two have a match. So I think it's finally time to end this feud between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and finally end it with Rhea winning the title back that she never lost. So now the last is Undisputed WWE Champion. In my last video the champion was Cody Rhodes, and he still is. Last video I said that Randy Orton will dethrone him, and I still think he will dethrone him. Randy Orton is now injured, and when he comes back he will first destroy Kevin Owens and then turn heel on Cody Rhodes to finally win a single title again, maybe at WrestleMania. So that's it for today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and tell me down in the comments who you think will dethrone every current WWE champion.